Hello, this is a short demo to give an overview of a application that I've been working on that I guess like most projects started as something that was just a tool I wanted to make for myself for a specific need, and then it turned into kind of a holiday tinker project. So anyway, what it is it's a web interface for a Ardupilot Rover specifically. I'm using it in a mowing context. And what my use case was is that it was difficult to look at some of the data out in the field, didn't want to carry a laptop, that sort of thing. So made an application, and for the techie folks, it's written in Python using a back-end framework called Streamlit, which made some of these components a lot easier. It uses the Pi Mavlink library for the Mavlink messaging inbound and outbound, and then the rest is pretty much just Streamlit. I also use MQTT for posting some messages, but it's not mandatory. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and I'm going to forward the Mavlink messages that are on Mission Planner here. I'm going to go ahead and start up the simulator so that we can demonstrate control and so forth. All right, so it's getting connected up here. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the super secret menu, the Control F, and then there's a button here for Mavlink, and this is for Mavlink forwarding. Ignore these first two. This was for other things I was testing, but essentially what I'm doing is I'm going to forward the Mavlink data stream that Mission Planner has. I'm going to forward it to another machine that's running my application, and I'm going to make it bidirectional so that I can do change messages and so forth. So go ahead and then I'll hit start, get that out of the way, and then you can go over here to my application that I'm calling MavWeb right now. So right now, running the simulator, it's forwarding messages to this other machine. This other machine is watching the data stream, and then we'll change the interface wherever needed. Just a brief tour of what's going on here. You can see that I've got the map here of my home, and you can see the current status of the rover. And then I'm working on making this a little bit better, but you can see that the link quality, similar to the link quality GCS parameter in Mission Planner right here. That's what I'm trying to emulate here, just so you could see whether you're dropping packets. Random comment here. One of the things I'm doing for testing is I have a Raspberry Pi on my rover and a digital temperature sensor because I run with a motor controller and I want to see how hot the box gets so that next season I can make sure that I'm keeping things as cool as they should be. You see here that this is the live GPS 1. I run a moving base setup, so I have two GPSs. So if you had two GPSs, they would just be one on top of the other here. You'd see both. You could see how many satellites you see in the location and so forth. Down the bottom here, you can see that you can change the modes. So what I've got in here right now is just manual auto hold, and then arm and disarm, and then these change state based upon the state of the rover. You can reboot the flight controller, and then resetting the mission is just to go back to the first waypoint when you want to start over in the field. The other thing that I added that I needed was the ability to skip the current waypoint. So you could keep clicking this, and all it will do is it will increment the waypoint number that it's currently on. So I'm sure you, like a lot of other people, have had the issue of you think that you got your outline good, but then it's stuck hitting a tree or a bush or something like that, and you just want to get past it and continue on with testing the mission. So that's why I put it in there for myself. The other thing here is it's not terribly intuitive, but there's this fetch mission map. All that does is that downloads the waypoints that are loaded on the flight controller so that you can see a map of the mission and then track the progress on the screen. The other thing too is that there's a save waypoint feature here, and the save waypoint is so if you're using it with your phone, rather than having to program your remote, you could go ahead and just hit this button, and then it will record the waypoint just like you would if you had a switch on your RC remote to do it. When the rover travels, it leaves a yellow line of what I'm calling breadcrumbs to see where it went. The idea with that is just to be able to track where it actually went versus where the mission was, and then hopefully with some of the other guys in the Ardupilot forums could give me some feedback to see that maybe this could be useful for doing PID tuning. Further down here, you can see that I've got a headlight and I've got a warning light, yellow warning light. And there's a dynamic way in the settings for this to where you can set relays 1 through 6 as toggles. And then if you just put a name there next to the right one, and I'll show you in the settings in a bit here, that it will allow you to turn those relays on and off. I'm using something called Mapbox for my maps. You can use the free OpenStreetMaps, but I wanted to see if the satellite views would give me any other information. So if I go and pick that, you can see there's a drop-down list of what I get. But what I did is I got a free account with Mapbox, and the limits to where you have to pay are way beyond what I would ever need to do. So you can see, if I zoom in here, you can see that's the location of the rover and the orientation. So it's pointing north. My house is pretty much perfectly north-south. The system messages window down here, this gives you exactly what's shown in the mission planner message list here. So if you reboot the flight controller or you're watching a mission, you'll see all those messages pop up here, as well as some other messages too. So for instance, if I turn on my headlight or whatever, I'll post a message in there too, just so you can see the status. So let me go ahead and pull this up here. You can there's a mission menu here. So if you go into mission, I've already uploaded these missions into a folder for the project here, and so then I've got test ones that I've put before. So let me go ahead and just load one of these up here. So as soon as you click it, it previews it, so you can kind of see how it's set up there. So now what I could do is I could take this one and then I can load it to the flight controller. There's a progress bar that shows the current status. I'm trying to find ways to speed up the implementation. This upload error here seems to be related to just a timeout on the screen. Or actually, no mission planner has shown me that. Let me, here's what I'll do is I'll load a smaller mission. Well, I accidentally clicked on upload again. So we'll go ahead and let this go ahead and start loading and see if it loads all the way up. Looks like it's not going to do that. But see if we can make it work anyway with the partial mission. If I go into back into the dashboard, now you can see, yeah, it looks like it did load it up. You can see the mission. I put it in white for the areas that haven't been covered yet in the mission yet. It's bidirectional. So if I go and I put it in auto hold or manual here or ARM, you'll see it reflect over mission planner and vice versa. So right now you can see it's in manual. So let's go ahead and ARM it. So you can see there's a pop-up message there, and you can see a message here that it should be armed. It says armed here. Now the button changes to where now disarm is enabled. So I'm going to go ahead and hit auto and go ahead and kick off the mission. So if I back out, you can see that it's leaving the breadcrumbs. Now this particular mission that I use in my yard, the simulator is much faster. It's going to be real sloppy on following the mission waypoints here, but you'll get the idea. You can even go in pretty tight here. But notice that as it, you can see that it's trying to turn on these tight waypoints. I make the completed portions of the mission green to show that they're completed. And so now you can see that after each one, it's just going to complete the segments there. There's a mission status bar up here, so you can just at a glance take a look at where you're at in the overall mission. Over here, you can see that in Mission Planner on the map, you can see it making progress and tracking there. But this is a responsive app, which means that it works well either in your browser or tablet, or you could do it on your phone. So far, I've had really good luck with it as far as being able to control things. Okay, so while that's running a bit here, oh, and let me show you also here, you can see the yellow line versus the green line. So this is where I'm hoping that if I could get some feedback from some of the people in the forums, that I could look to see if that could be helpful for PID tuning. I'm going to go back to my satellite view again here, just for fun. So if I wanted, I could come in here and I could turn the relays on and off. But let me show you how that's set up. So while the mission is running, let me go to settings, and then the settings. All of this is these are just environment variables in an environment file, and then I just load these in as settings, and so you could come in here and you could change these, or you could just edit the file. Not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but once I get some feedback from anybody who wants to test it, here you can see that I'm configuring the endpoint, which is UDP in, and then the zeros mean to listen on all IP addresses, and then I set it to port 14551. So whatever works for you. As a side experiment, I set up MQTT for those who are aware of what MQTT is. I run a broker for some other applications that I use, including Home Assistant. So I'm writing location updates into a format that Home Assistant can consume and then put on the location map just like it would for any other person. I won't spend a lot of time on that, but you can see here that this is Home Assistant. And then if I zoom in, you can see that Home Assistant is tracking the rover status. All the metrics that are available in Mavlink are also available, but I don't have them displayed on the screen here as entities for any of you Home Assistant folks. But anyway, this was I thought this would be kind of handy because this would be yet another way that you could view mission progress. So I'll probably be expanding that a bit in the future as well. If I go back to the dashboard, I could go ahead and it may have just done a portion of the mission when it loaded in. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go ahead and stop it. My plan is to have this to where I put it out in GitHub once I get things tuned up. It's pretty close now as far as being useful for me personally, but if there's any of you out there that are interested in testing it, giving it a try, I think what I might do is put it in a Docker container or make it run standalone. Obviously, would like to make it as simple as possible for folks who don't have experience with deploying some of these things and some of these tools. But anyway, that's the status of this. Feel free to give me any feedback or any ideas. And then, of course, I could take it down the road too to airborne vehicles and that sort of thing. But right now, this was just mainly to let me test some of my own needs and start to genericize it. So fun stuff. Stay tuned.